just left his own crew and got a new crew. What? It's messed up. I would have stayed with my crew. Ooh, look at that. See how the round deflected off? Way too close to be firing right there, though. Okay, going through the hangar, running over troops. Graphics in Call of Duty are so well to me. How well put they are. Makes it look like a movie or a video game. Already starting early. Okay? The guys are moving through a city. A lot of rubble. Yeah, in a city, I would not shoot the main gun unless I was at right here in this scene where I could see that building right there. Nowadays, I would use a heat round, level that building out, but machine gun definitely in the city. You know, even get up top if you need to with your loader, or the crow systems we call it, with the tank commander. In my case, I would just use that, and I could scan from the inside the tank safely with the gunner as well, shooting targets. Call of Duty loves to do that. Just have so many troops just coming in. So tank warfare back in the day was more so, open trenches. Trench warfare was a big thing in World War I, World War II. And then the Germans are the ones that integrated, like I said, the Panzer and the Tiger. Those were the top tanks at that time, supremacy. The tank battles we've had recently were, in Desert Storm. Compared to then, they were going through cities more often, where us, it was Desert Storm. There it is, popping up. Like I mentioned before, they had so much armor on their tanks, the Germans. It was like just going around to flank them. Yeah, that was our tank. It's not friendly, but it was already down. It's the enemy tank. Okay, perfect. That's where you want to shoot at. It was another one. Little Tiger.
We're in their crosshair!
Oh, wow. That'd be a bad day right there. Panicking, I'm down. Somewhere tucked away. Right there, boom. Right there to the rear. Another one on the track. One more. Ooh, look at that. See how the round deflected off? Way too close to be firing right there, though. That's how it really was. You're seeing lots of troops coming in. You're seeing lots of armor coming in. It wasn't, an easy war. So, man, I give Call of Duty, a little thumbs up to this. Some realism to it, like that. Reminds me of Fury. They're out in the open, in the field, just firing at each other. And they're taking out that anti-tank gun. And then, tank comes out and takes out two other tanks, and that's the last tank standing. So you could actually see why the World War II, like how they replicate into the video games of fighting tanks in Germany. The country's real open and green, so there's plenty of fields that are open. Even the fact they still have cities built, but before that, I can see why in this instance why fields were so big with so many tanks. Like I said, being there in Germany, I was able to witness all that of how big that the fields are and how many vehicles you could actually get through. So yeah, this seems really, really spot on. See a guy right there with RPG coming by. This is just crazy. They're just going in, just destroying stuff. Smooth the idea of how much fun you could have in a tank though, right here in Call of Duty. Just get in a tank and just go to different objectives, blowing everything up. There's troops in there? Oh man. So right there we call that in the defilade hidden, and that covers the tank. So pretty much the tank can just come out and shoot, or you fortify your position. You call it a BP, battle position, and then you're stuck in there, and the turret can scan around and fire. You can come back down, and you're safe from enemy fire. So that's what that tank was doing right there. Oh, do we have an AC-130 in the Abrams? Oh, whoa. The tank's out. Oh, he's unleashing the tank. Are they there? Oh, yo. I have not ever seen that in my life. Now, I've seen tanks across, the desert like that, but not flown out of a plane like that. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, the last time I seen a tank come out of a plane like that was that movie, The A-Team, and they're shooting the tank out of the sky, but I don't think I would want to do that with my Abrams. No, I'm good. You got enemy tanks? Yeah, I like that. That's how everybody's online. They're moving up. They're moving out of the way. They're not flagging. They're everybody's getting online with each other. Popping green smoke. Okay. Popping green smoke to let them know they're friendly. Got it. Moving pretty quick though. These guys are not playing. They're objective. Okay. Pushing back. So some things you don't want to do in a tank. You don't want to go over C-wire. Many people think, okay, C-wire is just thin wire. That stuff will eat up in the backside of your sprocket or your track, and it gets stuck in between the track pad. That's a bad day because you got to get out by hand and cut that out. So there are certain traps that you want to avoid. You also don't want to go in deep mud. You got to think the thing is 68 to 70 tons fully loaded with fuel and ammo and equipment in there. So you'll literally sink in the mud depending on the mud. Water as well. You can ford through the water, we call it. You close the belly plates up, put it in tack idle, and you power through like, a small obstacle, maybe 20, 30 yards of water, but you don't want to be sitting in water too long. You don't want to sit in mud too long. Soft sand as well. You just have to be careful the way you maneuver. It could really, the biggest thing is throwing track, which means the track slips off the actual suspension and the sprocket on the wheels. And when that happens, it's pain. You gotta readjust it, put it back on. So yeah, there's some things out there that can really stop the tank. When I read it and when the books we did training back in 2014, I learned this. They call it an iron wall. You line up in tanks and you shoot a wall of just rounds at the tank, and hopefully something hits the tank. We call it an iron wall. Everybody's firing in unison to try to get that one helicopter out. Because you got to think a helicopter can shoot you from miles away without you seeing it. But a guided round, no. Then there's other things you shoot though. When you lead on, you're supposed to shoot towards the nose of a tank. I've done it in, we call it stimulators, AGTS. So what you do is you aim the reticle in the front, and then what it does is supposed to hit the tail of the attack helicopter or even the side or the dead center of it. So, but a guided round, no. You guys are moving. Yeah. Shooting on the move. You can shoot on the move. It's not as easy. I've done it. Okay, going through the hangar, running over troops. Oh, you heard that the loader saying up as in the rounds loaded. That's what up means. I mean, we use drones hand in hand right now. I can't really say. I mean, just think of it like a tank being obsolete. Maybe the design of them, I could say that per se, or the actual functions. But I mean, a tank, I feel like it always be upgraded. I mean, there's so many more capabilities you could have of it. Right now, we're upgrading our tanks in the Army. Different countries are upgrading their tanks. So obsolete, not really. King of the battlefield. You hear them say Sable a lot. I mean, we call it APFSDS, Armor Piercing Fin Stabilizing Discarding Sable. So that's the name of the round. That round is used primarily against, tank-like targets, tanks, and then general, the way the round is it's a kinetic round. It's made to, pierce through armor. So, it's a common round you hear a lot of. In this case, fighting anti-air. I mean, I would go with the heat round per se, and then, heat round's more of a charge at the end of it, or even a HEP round. Because, different charges have different things. So, yeah. Hydraulic fluid, I like that. That's so real right there. The tank turns with hydraulic fluid. That thing will spew out on you if it's not maintenance correct. I like that, losing hydraulic fluid. All my real tanker friends, when they hear about, the turret. So right here, you have the inside of the tank turret. Right there underneath the tank turret, we have the floor, and then we have the sub turret. It's like a little latch, probably about this big. Pull it, you lift it, and it's like all the internals and the hydraulics and everything, the mechanisms underneath the tank. So in there, the sub turret, it gets dirty. It gets filled with hydraulic fluid, water. To anybody that knows it's been in a tank, they can tell you right there, you lift the sub turret up, it's filthy, and you have to clean it out. That's part of your maintenance. That's real realistic. I like that. There's loaders knocked out. Gunners knocked out too. Man, crews out. Dang, man, just love this crew like that. Like Spy the Reaper. I like that. It's pretty fresh. Everybody puts their own personal thing on tank. So what happened to this guy's crew member? He just swapped out and he got on the 50 cal? He just left his own crew and got a new crew? What? It's messed up. I would have stayed with my crew. Oh, man, that does not look like a 50 cal. That looks like a base gun. I actually remember playing this level on Call of Duty Ghosts. It was pretty fun. I liked it because that was the first time in Call of Duty that you got to use an Abrams besides using it in Battlefield. So when I remember playing this game, it came out in I think 2014. I was in Korea. Everybody I worked with in my company was like, "Oh, the new Call of Duty, has the Abrams in there." I was like, "Oh, what?" So everybody was playing it. So it was pretty cool. Oof, love this game. Got the iron sights, got the EO tech on there. Okay, what is that? The 203 underneath. Okay, you got the PEC 15 on the side, the laser. Okay, look at that magazine reload. Okay, standard magazine. Nice. So I see the EO tech. Look at that firing. Woo! Letting it rip. Look at that falling behind the Abrams. I want to say when you get close to the Abrams and you're mounted, it'll make you go depth, like you ring depth. When it fires, because it's so loud. So when the tank fires, it's so loud that the dust comes up. The game they made a little realistic with that. So we'll see. I don't know if that individual is close to the tank, it'll make their ears ring and they get a little disorientated. There it is, right there. So I was talking about the concussion. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You see his ears are ringing and stuff. My uncle served in Vietnam. He said he was an infantryman. He said the scariest thing that happened to him, he was by a tank, and then a tank went off. The A60 went off right next to him, and then also a grenade went off. And he said that was the most scariest thing he ever witnessed in his life when he was in Vietnam. So, yeah. Shot a 203 in there. Oh, what, did he pick somebody's RPG up? Okay. Crazy. That's how the M4 sounds when you really fire like that too. 203 reload. Got it. Into the building. Good job. Like that. Grenade. Okay. Get down. Get down. Okay. Ooh, buddy walked right into that. Look at that. Use that wall to swim it. Boom. Yeah. Funny. You hear stories of guys that have actually had to happen to guys running down range, running past and get shot. Enemy guys running. Or I remember when I was in basic training, my drill sergeant had told me he had a guy shoot an RPG at him and he didn't arm the warhead. And he said when it literally fired in and hit, it didn't even it just pinged and fell over because it wasn't armed. They called EOD and later on to find out that the Taliban guy, he actually didn't arm it. So it's crazy. A lot of stuff can happen. Tank? Yeah, some tank. Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. Don't even shoot at that. Okay, somebody got it. Good job. Tank got it right there from the corner. Got it. Nice. Good job, Abrams. Look at that. Whoever's in command, giving out some commands or saying, yeah, get some. Okay. Look at that. The turret popped off. Yeah. So, hey, guys, today we went over a little bit of the Call of Duty franchises. Big shout out to Gamology for letting me be the commentator on these games today. If you want to follow more of Gamology, I suggest you go on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to hear more from me, you can add me at Instagram at Mr.Cali_400. Until then, see you guys next time.